Hello, my dear students, and welcome back. Array, I know your exams are just around the corner, and the tension must be building up, है ना? But बिल्कुल tension नहीं लेना है. Don't worry at all. Together, we're going to make this chapter neural control and coordination super simple. We'll break it all down so you feel totally confident and ready. So shall we begin? Let's go. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about something your body does all the time that's, well, it's almost like a magic trick. It's all about coordination. Just think about it for a second. You're walking down the street, right? You've got your earphones in, listening to your favorite music. Maybe you're scrolling through some Instagram reels, and you're even typing a message to your friend. How on earth are you doing all of this at once without falling flat on your face? It feels like magic, doesn't it? But nope, it's not magic. It's pure, amazing biology at work. So this so-called magic has a name: coordination. And really, it's all about teamwork. Simple as that. You know, like in a cricket match, the bowler, the batsman, the fielders, they all have to be perfectly in sync to win, right? It's exactly the same inside your body. Say you're running, your muscles need more energy, your lungs work harder to get more oxygen, and your heart starts pumping faster to deliver that oxygen. See? They're all working together perfectly. That, my friends, is coordination. But who is the captain of this team? Who's making the master plan? Well, that's where the nervous system comes in. Let's see how it's all organized. You know, the easiest way to understand the nervous system is to think of it like our government. You have the central nervous system, the CNS, that's your brain and spinal cord. Think of it as the main government in Delhi, right? It's the boss. It makes all the big decisions. And then you have the peripheral nervous system, or PNS. This is like all the state governments and officers spread out across the country. It's the whole network of nerves connecting every single part of your body back to the CNS in Delhi. Now, these PNS nerve fibers, they're the messengers. They have two jobs. First, you have the afferent fibers. They carry signals to the CNS, so they're reporting to the boss in Delhi. Then you have the efferent fibers. They carry orders from the CNS back out to the body. Easy way to remember? Just think. Afferent arrives. Efferent exits. Simple. Okay, so who are these super fast messengers doing all this work? It's time to meet the real hero of this chapter, the basic building block of your entire nervous system, the neuron. And here it is, our little hero. Look at this diagram. Every neuron has three main parts. You see this central part? That's the cell body. It's like the headquarters. Then you have these branches. These are the dendrites. Think of them like little antennas, okay? They receive all the signals. And finally, this long tail-like thing is the axon. Its job is to send the message away to the next neuron. And please remember this. It's super important. The message flow is always a one-way street. Always. It comes in through the dendrites, the cell body processes it, and then, whoosh, the axon sends it on its way. It's just like a relay race, passing the baton from one runner to the next. It never goes backwards. So we keep saying message, message, message. But what is this message, really? Is it a little letter, a sound? Nope, it's much cooler than that. Think of it like an electric WhatsApp message. Let's see how it works. Yes, you heard that right. A nerve impulse is actually a wave of electricity. Can you believe it? Your body is creating its own electricity every single second. Every thought you have, every move you make, it's all tiny electrical signals. The fancy name for this is a nerve impulse or an action potential. Okay, so what about when a neuron is not sending a message? When it's just resting? Well, think of it like a fully charged mobile phone battery. It's ready to go. We say the neuron is polarized. See in the diagram? There are more positive charges on the outside and more negative charges on the inside. It's just sitting there, waiting for a call. This is called the resting potential. And then, bam, a stimulus comes along. This stimulus opens up tiny little gates on the neuron's surface. And what happens? All the positive sodium ions that were waiting outside, they just rush inside. For a tiny fraction of a second, the charges completely flip. The inside becomes positive, the outside becomes negative. And that flip, that is the action potential. The message has been sent. But wait a minute. There's a tiny gap between one neuron and the next. It's called a synapse. So how does the electricity jump across? Well, it doesn't. Instead, when the electric signal reaches the end of the axon, it releases special chemicals. These chemicals, called neurotransmitters, act like little boats. They cross the gap and deliver the message to the next neuron. Cool, right? All right, we know how the messages are sent, but where is the main control room? Let's go on a quick tour of the ultimate headquarters, the brain. There it is, the most complex thing in the known universe. For our exam purposes, let's just think of it as having three main sections or departments: the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. Each one is in charge of different things.
Okay, bachcho, please pay close attention now. This slide is very important for your exams. Let's look at the main jobs. The cerebrum, that's your thinking gap. All your intelligence, memory, problem solving, that's the cerebrum. The hypothalamus, it controls things like feeling hungry, thirsty, and your body temperature. Next, the cerebellum. This little guy at the back is the master of balance. It's the reason you can ride a cycle or walk in a straight line. And finally, the medulla. This controls all the automatic things you never think about, like your breathing and your heartbeat. Please, learn this table well.
Phew, that was a lot, I know, but you guys are doing great. So to make sure everything is crystal clear, let's do a quick revision with some very common exam questions. Ready?
Okay, here's a very common question. They love asking this. What is the main difference between the CNS and the PNS? Think back to our government analogy.
And the answer is really simple, right? The CNS, your brain and spinal cord, is the main processing center. It's like the CPU of a computer. The PNS is just the network of all the nerves that connect the rest of the body to the CNS. So it's like all the wires and cables connecting your keyboard and mouse to the CPU. One is the command center, the other is the network. All right, next question, and this is another important one. Explain the role of sodium ions, Na+, in creating a nerve impulse. So here's the key. At rest, the door for sodium is mostly closed. The neuron doesn't let it in. But when a stimulus hits, those doors fly wide open. And what happens? There's a rapid influx, a big rush of positive sodium ions into the cell. This sudden rush of positive charge is what flips the polarity and creates the electric spark, the action potential. So sodium is the main hero here. You've all been absolutely fantastic today. Before we wrap this up, I just want to leave you with one final thought to think about. Just remember, the brain inside your head, with its billions and billions of neurons, is more powerful and more complex than any supercomputer on this planet. Every single day, you have the power to do something amazing with it. So go on, use that incredible brain of yours. All the very best for your exams, my dear students. I know you will all do wonderfully.